Hello, everybody, and welcome to the start of today's games. My name is Mitch, this is Dean, and we're going into our first game of the day, Ex-Fragsters taking on Uruguay 3 now at the end for some reason. We're looking good
I
over on
don't think they go
Inferno.
by that.
I don't think so. I think it's just
I believe
Uruguay.
that's just an Esea thing. Yeah, Uruguay probably taken it as a pretty common name considering it is a country. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. As you can see, already getting live into the pistol round on your screens. Ex-Fragsters on the CT side, Uruguay on the offense. And this is going to be interesting. Look at the amount of utility that Uruguay have bought straight into this opening pistol. 3 players going straight in for the utility and sacrificing Kevlar.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice for them. I wonder if it's going to work out. We're obviously going to see an execute heavy push. Molotov on screen. Certainly some intentions there to make things hot, presumably towards the B bomb side. I think that's where we're most commonly seen executes on pistol rounds, especially with the T side. Although early on they're giving up that banana control and starting to refocus over towards the A bomb side.
Yeah, and with only those 2 players towards the piss side and the amount of utility that they actually have, I'd say they're probably going to be setting up an execute that will do a pretty good job at being able to actually force these 1v1s, or rather segregating those players on the bomb site from being able to help each other. And as we can see, that is kind of the case. Torben pushed up on short somewhat. They have then Nodios just playing in the pit itself. And as you can see now, push beginning to move forward. 44 seconds, and it looks like they will try and wrap around on long as well. Some nice smokes towards Arch and Library. And now this is going to be so tough. Torben's going to have to hit some amazing shots, and he does actually manage to find the first one. Problem is, HS was ready with that Glock, able to find 2 kills. Drake and Holden for the rotation towards Arch. And with that, it is going to be the 4v2 with the bomb getting planted. A very tough retake for Stavin and RTA to try and pull off her.
Drake can drop the P250 for a USP. Okay. He's going to look to find some damage onto Stavin. Has that information. Not quite hitting the shots just yet, but with only a kit, Stavin can't really take that fight. And it actually looks like Ex-Fragsters are going to go in for the save. Taking over 2 flashbangs, a kit, and armor to the next round. Could certainly be helpful.
Yeah, I don't mind the save. The chance of them actually pulling off that 2v4 retake, you would have to say, is pretty slim. So just saving over the defuse, getting a couple of flashes, and also, of course, RTA being able to save his Kevlar, it will give them some better chances in this following round. The question is, are they going to force in, or are they going to just take that eco? What I've seen on Inferno a lot of the time is teams are willing to force into the second round just because of how important the utility is. You can get some utility, you can get some pistols to back them up, and of course, if you're going to go for the play with the new economy where you take that eco and buy into round 3, it always does mean you are going to be somewhat limited in terms of the utility. So yeah, they're going to force up. They have a scout coming out, a UMP, pistols elsewhere. And let's see what they're going to be able to find, because actually Uruguay have gone for a very heavy investment, rather, in terms of the SMGs here, which can be dangerous against those pistols. And already Scream gets tagged down low.
Yeah, indeed, down to 32 HP off the bat.
2 health, Mitch.
Oh
Just
God.
about survives. Just about.
It's not going to be too helpful, though. Look what he's running into. As you move towards B, you've got a CZ in play. A UMP as well, a Deagle. I mean, anybody's just going to take him down straight away. Even if he was on the 30 HP, it would have been a difficult one. Now he's almost certainly going to perish as they push forward. Here come the Molotovs towards the B bomb side. Things are getting hot there. But the action isn't going to go down. Very quick rotation down towards the A bomb side, but Draken's holding up close. They're not checking the corner. So he's able to catch himself a kill. Probably upgraded that UMP. It's a little bit more versatile than my 10. Oh, they're just torn apart on the A-bomb side as well. Headshots hit with the MAC-10s. Draken does go down. At least that's a glimmer of hope for Fragsters. But the thing is, they're not really going to be doing much with SMGs in the next round. They kind of want to win this one. With low HP on everybody now, this is very much doable. Like, Stavin has 3 players that are one-shot for him, regardless of which weapon he decides to deploy. The thing is, he doesn't have that information. He doesn't know how easy this round would be if he just barreled towards the A-bomb site. Fired that MAC-10 off. He's still creeping up. He's got a kit. Is he going to try and ninja this? Oh, he's being spotted at this point. Scream! How does Scream win that fight with 2 HP?
You jinxed it. You said Scream was dead once the action started, and he managed to survive and somehow win that fight at the end. I think the problem was Stavin, of course, not really maybe 100% aware of how low everyone was, and even then, charging into that bomb site against 3 people, there's a good chance that he does end up going down. So he tried to, I guess, wait and see if a couple players would leave the bomb site, give himself a bit of a better chance later in the round, but of course, didn't really work out, and now coming into this one, just going to be the full eco. 5 USPs, a Zeus in play. the hands of RTA, so maybe that can be used to snatch away a weapon. As we do actually see them stack up towards the apartments. This isn't a play that you actually see too commonly anymore, just due to how easily those walls can be actually wall-banged. And as you can see, Hampus, he spots them all pretty much. The Mac-10 building up some bank before eventually going down. And we should see Uruguay now just have a pretty easy round win from this point forward. They do already have B under their control.
Just going to be torn apart in top middle. Actually, a jumping headshot for Draken. No problem with the Mac-10. And Torben won't be too long for this world. Won't be winning that fight in a 1v1 without armor. 3-0, Uruguay steaming ahead, but here's where Fragsters have the opportunity to get a full buy, and already nothing but scopes to come out. And indeed, it'll follow through. 4 AUGs and an AWP over on the CT side. Uruguay sticking with 2 Mac-10s. They're playing this as somewhat of a bonus round. They'll still be able to buy in the next round if they lose this. And then that would offer up the opportunity, of course, to reset Fragsters. So they... Ex-Fragsters. They need to find 2 in a row here. It starts with this round. Things are looking good as Gould Smedden, a.k.a. Dragonfly, manages to pick up a golden opening kill onto Drake and push us into a 5 versus 4. It was only one of the Mac-10s removed, but low HP as well on HS. It will make things a little bit more difficult for these Ts to work for.
Yeah, they still have that 1 SMG, so maybe they can afford to take some risks, but as was said, the damage early on definitely going to be heavily favoring Ex-Fragsters alongside that kill. So putting themselves in a pretty good position here. The only problem is how little utility they actually have remaining. As you can see, with still well over a minute on the clock, they have 1 smoke and 3 flashes, so definitely not ideal. Let's see how they're going to be able to hold things down. Right now you see RTA and Stavin over on that B bomb site, and it's looking like they may be tested fairly soon. Although, as I say that, Uruguay still taking their time. They're going to be hanging back, maybe waiting to see if someone gets aggressive. And during, I guess, kind of this slowdown that they have in towards Banana, that's allowed for that rotation to come in. Dragonfly now in position with the op to actually help on B.
And in he comes, looking for one. He finds another. Stuck behind a smoke at this point, but there are still 2 players on the B bomb side to hold a bit of a crossfire. Stavin now just going to tuck in on 15 HP. His teammate takes contact. He tries to get a trade, not able to find anything as he goes down to Scream. Things are looking better for Uruguay. 2 versus 3 though. Bomb plant. Scream is full HP. Existence not in the same boat. Only on 8 is going to be taken out so easily by Nodios, leaving Scream all alone, and he's screaming in agony as he gets taken down. Body shots galore for Torben. And a bomb defuse for Ex-Fragsters. Uruguay get extra money for the bomb plant, but they had a lot of money either way. It is going to be a buy in the next round, and so certainly a bit of difficulty for Ex-Fragsters now. They face into the next round. They will still be able to get a buy up, but their economy is going to be right down in the gutter after reinvestment into utility, and the problem that lies there is that then Uruguay, if they manage to win this round and reset Ex-Fragsters, will get a stellar start to their T side.
Yeah, but at least this time Ex-Fragsters do have a lot more utility to actually work with, which is definitely an improvement. Op as well, still in the hands of Dragonfly alongside the Kevlar. So there's an opportunity here, but as you said, if Uruguay can find that instant reset, it really does just allow for them to go ahead and run away and really pick up a solid scoreline very early on. Although starting things off, they are going to be going for a little bit more of a passive approach in this round. Giving up Banana, you can see Ex-Fragsters, they do want to try and take control of it. They have 3 players over towards this position early on. And I believe Uruguay may have a bit of a read on this because already getting prepared for what seems like it is going to be an A push.
Certainly appears to be. They haven't brought the bomb with them, but Draken's going to remedy that, picking it up eventually. There we go. Running around it for a bit. Existence is looking for the banana push. He finds it. 1 player down. That's Stavin already eliminated. Up close is RTA. With the smoke down. Oh, dodges the nade. That would have given away his position. Now up close. Able to find it. Oh no, Gouldsman takes the kill. Dragonfly swoops in and steals it. Now as they look towards this A bomb site, perhaps they anticipate a weaker defense. They've already spotted 2 players towards B, but a very fast rotation coming in. Torben opens it up onto Hampus. Down goes HS as well. This is looking fantastic. Only 2 Ts remaining. 1 now. The Scream has to make his way off that balcony all by himself. He picks up 1, turns around, dodges an op bullet, has the bomb in his possession as well, so he gets the bomb plant. Remember, this is a huge round for Uruguay. If they can walk around with a victory here, this would be phenomenal for them, but Scream knows there's an AWP posted up, tries to get the 1-tap onto him, not able to connect it onto the head, and so 2 players still alive.
Yeah, how long is that going to be the case for, though? Scream! Before I can even get the words out, both players are dead. And that's some throwbacks right there from Scream. He's been inactive for a little while now, and he's shown us that he still definitely has that accuracy, even with what was a recent hand injury, I believe. That was a strange round overall. Existence jumping through that smoke, going down and bringing it back from what was the 5-on-4 after he got the opening kill, and then, of course, it just spiraled out of control. There was a great setup on that A bomb site, the way they were playing off each other in that pit. We could see, I believe it was Nadios covering RTA who took the first contact on quad. And yeah, it was working out so well, but Scream make sure that they don't pick up that round win. And yeah, Uruguay now with that reset that you were talking about, it's very troublesome for the Ex-Fragsters side. Their economy in a tough place. They fully invested, and all it gives them is a scout and some pistols.
Dean, remind me, when they talk about Scream, what is it they talk about? Them one taps. That was beautiful. 4-1 now, almost guaranteed a 5-1 in normal circumstances, but this being Inferno, Ex-Fragsters going in for a force buy. It's not too ridiculous, and it's certainly not unexpected. You can see Uruguay are playing this quite passively. HS, the only one to really walk in aggressively, I suppose. He's got a Mac 10. Trying to poke out Banana. Somehow they've managed to walk through apartments. What is that? Nodios is taken down, but he does manage a kill before that. And also, I think, got a little bit of information on the bomb, which is going to be pretty crucial for Ex-Fragsters. You see a bit of a rotation beginning. RTA started to make his way towards the A bomb site, but now believes it to be B. He's correct in that. The rotation already coming up through Banana. This is decent. I mean, if RTA can find himself a kill and stay alive, you will have Dragonfly coming back in on the long-ranged weapon. He's got a scout in play. It's all about damage in these rounds. They got to get some work done. RTA goes straight in through the smoke, but whiffs the shots. Perhaps they won't expect Stavin to be towards the back of the bomb site, though. Oh, it's not too good to be true. 10 seconds left on the clock. Stavin goes in for a reload. He's staying alive for now. I don't know if he spotted the op there on Draken, but the time has run out. There's 1 second left. They need all the eliminations. Can't find them. And now eliminated after time. Hampus goes down. Draken lucky to stay alive. That's a bit of an awkward round. Ex-Fragsters walk away with the victory. Uruguay waited a little bit long to execute the site there.
Yeah, and once the time ran out, I'm not too sure why Hampus was actually continuing to push forward and towards construction, because, yeah, as you can see, that cost him massively. If he had survived, he would have had still 2950 in the bank, would have been able to drop over a rifle, and Existence buying for himself. The op Drake and saved. He can drop an AK as well. They would have had a pretty solid buy, all things considered. But now things are a little bit more awkward. You can see a pause has been called. They're going to be trying to discuss what they actually want to do into this round. And it looks like they will force up. Draken going to drop over an AK. Should get that up back off Scream, you'd imagine. And indeed he will. He'd be a little bit confused if he didn't throw that back.
Sure, he was screaming at him.
It's a terrible pun, Mitch.
It is.
Too easy. Too easy. You need better puns.
Too easy. Just like my matchmaking games. Sadly, not for my team. That's a deep nade. Good night, Draken. What?
What the? He took
They
one
both
damage.
missed. Yeah, they both bounced off the wall and went towards the bottom of Banana. I'm pretty sure that's not where they're meant to go. That's a surprising one. Gotta say. I thought Draken was not long for this world. But he's gonna be happy to survive that. We're into a 5v5 with Uruguay still behind the CZs in play. You've got Torben saving over the Mac 10. Taking down Scream as well to start us off. He was getting aggressive on short with the team. He had support, and they just back off out of there. Take passive A-bomb site control. The thing is, Long's already under the control of those T's. Existence making his way around. Is going to take the fight and eliminate Gould Smedden. Dragonfly will not be making a flight or any impact in this round. Ex-Fragsters. A man down. Sure, it's a 4v4, but you still got to look towards Uruguay with a bit of favor on this. They do face a weakened A defense if they decide to take things there, but again, shifting their focus towards that B bomb site, where Stavin has to be worried about the CT spawn, because Long controls in the hands of the T's. Nobody's on the bomb site, so RTA has to get a lot of work done from the boosted position.
Oh, and there we go. Stavin able to find one alongside his teammate RTA. So a good hold so far on B. The bomb actually was dropped in towards that smoke. Easily retrieved by Hampus, but again, time is just such an issue. Every time they're pushing forward, it seems like they are pretty low on that clock. may be able to actually get a planted. Problem is now this flank from Banana pretty much shuts it down. Torben with 1, and that leaves again Draken as the last man standing. His only hope to save that op over, and if he dies after time, he's in a lot of trouble. Good nade comes in, and the Mac 10 to find the kill with a nice upgrade for Torben onto the op right there. A third round being found for Ex-Fragsters. And finally, we're going to see Uruguay actually have to go ahead and take that eco. Or maybe not. Yeah, Draken is in a tough position, so they could consider force blind, but I don't think they'll go for it.
Look, 4-3 Ex-Fragsters. I mean, they avoided a very awkward scenario where Uruguay had reset them and things were looking phenomenal for the T side. Things could have been huge. It could have been 6 rounds clocked up on the board, but right now X are making their way back into this. Gould, Smedden already opening things up. Hampus is down. Dragonfly puts them ahead over on the CT side. And of course, with Uruguay on majority pistols, you don't expect much. Draken goes through a Molotov, though, to take down Dragonfly. But the AWP's recovered, so it's not too much of a loss.
Yeah, they won't be too worried. Of course, Draken's still coming into this round, not going to have a rifle, let alone the AWP, so a little bit more limited with the Deagle. I'd say maybe they'd want to actually consider just working with those rifles instead of the op anyway, especially considering how slow they actually have been playing, because it's been a bit of an issue. Draken, of course, hasn't had the chance to get much done once they push into the bomb sites. And early on into this round, he's already eliminated. A second follows up onto HS, and banana control alongside a 2-man advantage has been found for Ex-Fragsters early on into this round.
And the body shot to HS screams down on 25 HP as well. Uruguay, and this is one of their real opportunities to start the win streak back up. And the problem is, losing this round, you're facing into another pretty weak buy, and Ex-Fragsters are building up a lot of economy. They're not losing too many players in a lot of these rounds. And as we look towards the A-bomb site, 4 players already there with the aggressive banana control that's been taken by Stown. Now we start to get maybe a little bit scared. You know, if Uruguay walk towards the A-bomb site, which they look like they're going to do, considering they have no banana control at all, they'll be running straight into their deaths. Firing squad awaits them. Making their way up banana now, though. Stavin has the info. He'll back off a little bit. He's got only 1 piece of utility, actually. I thought he might have had a smoke as well, but no, only the flashbang to stall them. So the rotation has to be pretty swift. But it is, of course, Dragonfly coming in with the AWP, and that'll certainly help to bolster the B bomb site defense.
Yeah, that smoke should at least block off Dragonfly. He's going to try on a Molotov again to try and delay, and as you can see with the time, just about to hit 20 seconds. Again, this could become somewhat of an issue, rather. Existence looking to try and lead the charge will be somewhat alone for the first few seconds. In a position where he definitely could have been taken down without a chance for a trade, but the damage eventually coming in onto Hampus, the spam through the smoke from RTA. And this round is over and done with. Not a single casualty for Ex-Fragsters as they really begin to build that bank up now over these past couple of rounds. You won't have to put too much reinvestment into this round, apart from, of course, purchasing up that utility again.
And look how much time is left on the clock as Uruguay pushed. Again, the round ended with 6 seconds, and they'd held W since they begun the push to the bomb site. Feels like in these rounds, they're just waiting a little bit long to really get into things. Where, you know, if there's 6 seconds left and you spot 2 players, well, full rotation. Or like 15 seconds, and they're towards top banana, you know that you can fully rotate. They're just constantly running into this B bomb site with so little... Oh, it's a yikes Molotov. So little time, and so many players there. Oh, and you don't even need a lot of players. As Torben already opens things up with the assistance of their AWP, Ex-Fragsters go ahead by 2. Uruguay looking to make things work with the Deagles, caught behind a smoke, not able to do a whole lot. They've taken apartments control towards the T side, but... Oh, and actually that's a little bit dangerous for Nodios. I mean, in a choke point up against 2 Deagles, that's not a position you want to be, or not a fight you want to be taking. But he backs off. He's going to support towards short. Hampus down low. There goes Existence. This should be a pretty swift round. And again, with no casualties taken on the Ex-Fragster side, and if they continue without taking a casualty, as they did, finishing it with a nade, just look at their money. You know, Uruguay are struggling to get around on the board when they have these full buys. That last full buy they had, of course, like you said, Dean, nobody fell on the Ex-Fragster side. And the problem is, even if they find 1 round, they have to follow it up with at least 2 more now.
Yeah, and I was a little bit worried about something like this happening coming into this matchup because, as I was saying during the pregame analysis, they had played against Valiance on Inferno just 2 days back, and I believe they lost 16-7, so statistically not one of their better maps. Early on, though, they have finally been able to actually cover some ground towards Banana, this time getting up a lot further very, very quickly in existence. He's going to be able to catch Stav, they're trapped in the corner, taking down a man advantage, and for what seems like the first time in forever, Uruguay, they actually do look favored in this round early on.
Well, the man advantage in play certainly helps a lot of teams out. You know, the chances to win the rounds swing over in your favor the majority of the time, up to around 70%. Is this going to be one of those 3 times that they lose out of 10, though? As Uruguay make their way towards the A bomb site, there's still 3 players here. A Gould, Samedin, aka Dragonfly, has been doing a lot of work for this CT side. He's on 42 HP, made his way towards the bomb site where he can take some head peek angles and catch them coming out of the apartments. Uruguay still looking to take this control, and a bit of false information being given over. RTA starts a rotation towards B. The HS, I think, hears those steps. Might call that. Leaving Uruguay to believe that Long's a little bit more open than it is, but it doesn't matter. RTA still falls. They managed to win out that fight, get control towards CT. Now they're happy to go towards the B bomb side, and of course, there's nobody there. So it's open season for them.
Yeah, although Hampus may fall over on A. His goal, of course, being to try and drop some of these players if he can, and we'll be able to catch Nadios trying to get aggressive. So this round pretty much over and done with. As you said, Uruguay, even with this first round, they will need to begin to try and actually chain some together. But if they survive with all 5 players, that is definitely the ideal situation. We'll build up some money for them to work with and give them a little bit in that reserve. Hampus is going to go down. And it looks like they do want to actually try and hunt down Torben here. I don't really think that's worthwhile. They know the economy of Ex-Fragsters is already built up into a decent position. And of course, it's Uruguay, really, that can't afford to lose those guns.
Yeah, like you said, it would be huge for them if they can survive with 5 players, setting them up for a better post-reset position if they lose the next round. They are getting very aggressive, spread out as well. You know, nobody's looking to trade, so Torben could potentially get a free kill and then peace out without being dropped. Now grouping up, though. There's 3 of them almost in the line, pushing around Long. The trade goes in. Torben's down. No AWP saved for Ex-Fragsters. But again, Uruguay lose 2 weapons there. And knowing that they're facing into a full buy this time, it's not the best. You're running your economy right onto the edge there. I mean, if Torben found a couple more kills, that would be a pretty devastating scenario for you. Luckily, they are able to pull out full AKs and an AWP just about with utility. So 6-5, they're looking to get at least the 6 rounds on the board, and if they can win 2 more, they'll get a free one. But that's a long road.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't too bad that they lost those 2 players and did at least get the op for Draken. But as I said, with the playstyle they've been playing when they've had that op, the very slow approach, it has been definitely somewhat troublesome for them. And of course, losing another couple of players, not ideal. So let's see how this one's going to go. This is a round that Uruguay do very much need to win. And early on, Ex-Fragsters, 3 players towards Banana. I like this play. They're going to actually fight to get the control back. The flash goes through. Torben, he manages to mow him down. Scream was up close playing anti-flash, but I don't think it worked too well because he did get blinded and was a little bit delayed on eventually coming in for that trade. A 3-on-4 now in play. Ex-Fragsters is going to be happy with the advantage they found early on. And now they can be... apologies. I was just going to say, now they can kind of be a little bit more passive and just going to sit back towards the bomb sites.
I was just about to say, you could definitely say that the playing anti-flash didn't go too well if you get flashed. I think that's the whole point of what you're trying to do.
Definitely. Yeah, I think he was just crouched in the corner so that the wood had blocked the flash, but I think rather Ex-Fragsters specifically set that flash up to make sure he would get blinded if he was there.
Yeah, perhaps a bit of counterplay going on. Stown takes down Draken. Another onto Hampus as well, connected. The AUGs owning this B bomb site. It looks like Scream is going to have to pull off another sick clutch with the 1 taps, but it's not happening this time. 7-5, Uruguay reset, and again, you can see without saving over the full 5 in the round before that, their post-reset is looking pretty bad. 2K on the majority of players. The question is, do they want to give over a free round to Ex-Fragsters? A pause is called, presumably to discuss what they want to do economically, and I think they should give a free round to Ex-Fragsters. They're going in for a force buy by the looks of it, though.
Yeah, seems like they're going to go for it. I guess that's okay with the the economy that they do have, they can get out a couple of rifles. HS could maybe drop an AK to Scream and take a Deagle in return. That's definitely what I'd like to see, just so they can get those 3 rifles out. But it's a tough position, because if they do force her and lose it, then that's Ex-Fragsters likely taking at least 9 rounds on the CT side.
Yeah, I guess the thought is, let's force this round, see if we can win it. If not, it's 8-5, we eco, it's 9-5, and then we can fight for the final round. They know that the economy is pretty strong for Ex-Fragsters, though, so I feel like in the majority of situations, this kind of buy is justified if winning this round would give you an eco round in the next one, right? But it doesn't really. They could have ecoed here, taken a full buy in the next, and then potentially got the 8-7. But now failing and they would have had 2 buy rounds to fight for the 8-7. But here we're only going to see the mix buy and then a full buy later on. So I feel like they've got to have a lot of confidence in what they're coming in with in this round. A lot of confidence in the pistol plays. HS didn't drop over that AK, so of course they've only got 2 to work with, and they're making their way towards A early on. You know, working this around their smokes for the most part. Ex-Fragsters getting so aggressive on short, though.
Yeah, again, just showing a lot of confidence in these holds. They're willing to take the aggression and try and actually catch players off guard, and that's what Corbin's going to be going for. This is dangerous, though. Manages to get the first and the transfer. What is that on the Draken? Follows up with some damage before eventually going down to existence, and with that, of course, again, it is the man advantage being found for Ex-Fragsters. A 4v2 now in play as they continue to rack up the frags. Rather, HS does return 1. But both of these players being somewhat injured now for Uruguay. It's a very tough position for them to try and actually recover from.
A very tough position indeed, with HS being the last alive and low HP, pushing through the smoke. He's being hurt and he's shot in the back by RTA. Puts an end to it. 8-5 now. Ex-Fragsters miles ahead. I mean, there's no chance for them to take an eco before things are over, and Uruguay only have 1 full buy left in the back pocket. They've got to give this round up with an eco, unless they're playing some ludicrous CS. And there we go. Just going to be the eco coming through here. Ex-Fragsters struggling to get rid of that AWP. They're going to be claiming 9 rounds more than likely. Uruguay focusing all of their attention on that 9-6 scoreline.
Yeah, and 6 rounds will still be decent. That's something they can be pretty happy with on the T side. Of course, it is a map that's a little bit more even lately. I believe even Bok was saying that in the chat a moment. It can kind of be a little bit more delicate, especially with the CT economy. But for now, at least, we should see Ex-Fragsters easily finding that 9th round. You don't imagine too much to be found for Uruguay. They have a single P250 and 1 flash. And they are surprisingly just split across the map. Normally, when you see these full ecos, perhaps they just group up, try and use the sheer numbers rather than taking, I guess, individual fights if they get pushed down. But that's not really the case for now. Willing to just sit back, wait and see if anyone gets aggressive, and probably discussing things as well. This goes back to Existence for a long time, has liked to kind of use these eco rounds as a bit of a tactical pause.
The good old system. Just chatting a little bit, you don't need to take them too seriously. But I think ultimately, you know, if they can manage to find a couple of kills and get a bomb plant down, that's their ideal situation. Well, the kills won't even matter to them too much, just about the bonus money you get for taking a kill. They're going straight into CT, uncontested. Glocks up close. Smedden in danger. He's got an AWP, not the best for close range engagements against pistols. Now the potential for that op to come into play and pick up a couple more kills, but they're all trapped in towards library. It makes it very hard to take a peek. HS, though, no problem trading out Hampus. They still want to make their way towards a bomb site. There's 2 in pit, which is not going to put them in a nice position because they have to go to A with so little time. And 9-5 secured. Some damage done, which if this was, you know, 5 rounds ago, would be looking okay, but Ex-Fragsters have got a lot of money. They don't care that they're losing players. As long as they're winning the rounds cleanly and not giving over the bomb plants, they're feeling good. As Uruguay come into this with as much utility as they can muster, full AKs and armor on all players. And this is what they want. They want the 9-6. That's a minimum for them, really.
Yeah, and they don't really have all that much utility. The only really bonus they could have got from that previous round, as you said, the kills not really meaning much. The bomb plant would have been nice, though. The extra $800 per player would have given them so much extra utility. But let's see. Maybe they want to take the pace up now, it seems. Already getting that mid control, trying to wrap around injury long, and actually Corbin, he's going to have a lot of players to deal with. Gets one before the smoke blooms, ends up getting sprayed back in return, though, with those tracers being pinpointed. But look at this from Dragonfly. He's in behind right now. Doesn't actually check the balcony to his right, and that's going to be a little bit of trouble for him, as it's actually his teammate in pit that kind of pays for not having the info about it. And with that now, a 3v3. Of course, it is slightly favoring Ex-Fragsters in terms of the health, though. Oh, and that nade, it may be able to finish off HS. Indeed, it does.
Easy kill for RTA. I mean, low HP on Hampus going in for that peek. Not ideal. The trade a little bit late to go down as Draken peeks out. RTA is ready for it. Another round secured for Ex-Fragsters. Puts them on double digits as we close out the half here. That's not ideal for Uruguay. You take into consideration the couple rounds that they kind of threw away with the really slow time clock, you know, up against the pistols as well. It wasn't even necessarily that we had Ex-Fragsters winning out those pistol duels. It was just that they were able to delay the time long enough that Uruguay couldn't get the bomb down. That was when they had, I think, 4-3 or 4-4. And from that point forward, you know, Ex-Fragsters just looked so strong, and Uruguay were a little bit too slow, I think, in a lot of these T-side rounds, going in for their executes. We saw the clock being their enemy more than twice.
Oh, yeah, especially kind of in the middle of the half, there was a lot of rounds that they really could have won if it wasn't for the time being an issue. And, of course, kind of walking into the bomb sites with the smokes being down at like 15 seconds remaining. That was another issue as well. They weren't really pressuring the CTs to use that utility early on, which is what you do need to do, of course, if you're going to play that very slow style. Otherwise, you just end up kind of hitting a brick wall when you want to push forward.
And that's exactly what happened. I mean, time and time again, we saw it coming through for Uruguay, running into walls, slowing their momentum, not able to get too much done. I think 5 rounds, considering the amount of times they had opportunities to claim some of these rounds, it's not going to be ideal. And now as they're on the CT side, hopefully we'll see less of that, less problems for them, more individuality are going to be demanded. But Ex-Fragsters are certainly looking good. Their cohesion's there. Their team play is certainly there. The rotation timings were good as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring forward on the T side here. I think it's safe to say looking like favorites based on that first half.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. And also, of course, as I said, looking at the recent results for Uruguay on Inferno, it hasn't really been too great from them. So you have to be somewhat worried, but we know they have the individual skill. That's definitely something you can always look towards. Scream, Draken, both players who are capable of very high fragging, rather. And of course, HS, a great player as well. Hampus, although he is normally an in-game leader, of course, that's been kind of taken off his shoulders, and we know he's also capable. So you can't count them out. It is Counter-Strike, after all, a game that can really go any way, and that's always what's so exciting about it.
And we're going into the pistol round here. Uruguay going down middle straight away. The aggression is unfounded. Stown not going to be winning out the battle, but he does a lot of damage to HS. Look at the amount of CTs towards the bottom of middle. This is very awkward now. We've got Gouldsmedden in underpass, waiting for his moment to strike. Here he comes. Surprise, but he gets taken down by Scream before he's able to connect the kill. Low HP in a lot of these Uruguay players, but it might not matter as Stown is all alone with the P250, trying to make it work. And this is not an easy angle to come up from. Coming in through underpass when they have bottom mid, top mid, right on top of underpass as well. You don't really want to be peeking out there. There's just too many angles. HS is so close to finding the kill as well. On this down in the window. He's going to peek out, though, to trade Draken and find the kill. Maybe the P250 as well. Yeah, it's going to be picked up. Why not? Uruguay now, 6 rounds on the board. They've won out the pistol. They should get another on the back of it. Not too sure if Ex-Fragsters are going to want to force buy here. I think this should be the eco.
Yeah, you'd expect them to take the eco, especially being on the T side, having a pretty decent lead as well. They don't really need to be forcing the issue all too much. Just one P250 being upgraded, a flash for Stown, and already making their way up Banana. So maybe they have a chance to try and get something done. Going to be taking a very high-paced round, rushing into the MP9, though. That's a bit of an issue, and Existence is just building up bank right now for himself. 4 quick kills being found, and Stown, he's left kind of quivering in a corner, wondering what's happened to his entire team. And it looks like he could also fall to an SMG. Actually, Scream is ready. And there you go. Lots of money being built up for Uruguay. That's probably the worst way things could have gone for Fragsters right there. They much would have preferred to have gone down to one of those rifles.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, right? When you're on those eco rounds, the objective, sure, a bomb plant would be amazing. Kills, even better. But the thing is, you just don't want to die to those SMGs. It is not worth it. The amount of money that they managed to farm from that is crazy. And all 5 kills coming in for Uruguay. They're playing this as a very strong bonus round. Full utility, full armor, majority kits as well. Things are looking good for them. Because even if they lose this round again, they've got that reset potential. That said, we saw Ex-Fragsters, you know, getting the reset, or getting reset rather, over on their CT side, and yet still coming out on top in the force buys. But I mean, the force buys over on the T side, not as easy to work with on Inferno. It's definitely the CT side where you gain the advantage with those pistols over what you'd have on T. A very slow round to come through from Fragsters. They know they're going to be up against a bit of a mix buy, right? They know there's SMGs in play, so they don't want to get a little bit too froggy up against them, push in a little bit hastily and get mowed down from behind. You're going to be systematic in the way you approach these rounds. Ex-Fragsters running this clock down. I mean, they're in danger of hitting a Uruguay wall, right? They know that. They go in with 40 seconds. Existence still able to open things up on B, but now there's a lot of danger for Scream. He's all alone with an MP9. Has to get the work done. A second headshot connected. He even lands a third, but the kill is not there. Of course, the headshot alone, not enough to get a kill with an MP9. And now as they make their way over towards this B bomb site, there's 2 players left on the Ex-Fragsters side. RTA is low, and he's all that remains of this T side. What is effectively a defense now. But he's got a good position. Pushed all the way up in construction. He might be able to catch them off guard. As he's the last player alive, I don't know if they'll expect this angle. They know he's in construction at this point, though, as they've cleared out the bomb site. And so Hampus takes the peak, finds the kill with the wall bang, and it is going to be another round for the CT side. The bomb plant at least secured for Ex-Fragsters, so better economy. But 8 to 10, that gap is starting to close in on Ex-Fragsters, considering a pretty convincing half number 1.
Yeah, and there's a big question here as well about if Ex-Fragsters actually want to buy, and it seems like they do. Problem is, it's going to be pretty similar to what they had in that previous round, where they are quite limited on utility. Although they are willing to sacrifice down on a couple of players. You can see Dragonfly just going for the Deagle, UMP coming out on the Torben as well. So I like this. Definitely worthwhile, because they can still just let those AKs try and find the openings either way. But right now, Uruguay beginning to build up some confidence and some momentum here on the CT side, and with it being a pretty experienced lineup in terms of the players, once they get rolling, that's when I think they can become very dangerous.
Indeed, that's when things get a little bit scary. And moving over towards the A-bomb side, things are about to get rolling for Ex-Fragsters. Already making progress. They're in the pit. This is a very advanced position for them to have. Hampus found that kill onto RTA through the smoke. Draken goes down, though, to the UMP as they close in the distance towards the bomb side. Heavy casualties for the T side. It's all onto Gouldschmeden. He's got to pull out a gem of a round right now and not able to do it as Dragonfly goes down. Another round secured for Uruguay. No bomb plant for Ex-Fragsters, which I think is what they were angling for there.
Yeah, it definitely would have been the goal, because it would have given them another buy. But I kind of like that they're just going to actually go for the eco here. Get some pistols. Oh, hang on. Dragonfly gets an oppo. It is glass cannon and leaves them with $350. So he will still be able to get an AK at least in the next round with the Kevlar, so I guess it's not too big of a deal. But of course, that means he's not going to have the op when the rest of his teammates have the rifles, which is probably how you wanted to be going. Have the best buy possible across the board. But let's see, maybe something can be done in this round, some damage perhaps even to be found. And speaking of the damage, it's actually coming in from Scream early on. That nade combined with a spam does somewhat substantial damage onto Nodios and also Dragonfly.
And Dragonfly is really the player that we're looking at to find the impact into most of these, or into this round in general. They can essentially just play around that AWP, right? Not necessarily protect the president, but certainly follow the president. Let him find himself an opening. If he doesn't, pick the op up and try yourself. With 1 minute on the clock, a nade goes in. That's so much damage done. Nodio's down to 38. Nobody else takes damage from it, though. Protected by the car. Distance, holding the angle, finds a quick headshot onto Dragonfly. He'll peek back out. Now the AWP in the hands of Stown, rather, is going to be doing some damage, leaving Scream alone. He's still going for the peaks, though. Takes down Torben, who's been one of the more impactful players for Fragsters throughout this game. But still, the bomb plant is going to be allowed.
Oh, it's down. Oh, he expects the flank to be coming in. I was going to say in a lot of trouble here as the smoke begins to fade. Can they win the round, though, is the question. Both remaining players being somewhat tagged up already. And the AK in the hands of Hampus takes a little while to actually find that frag, but eventually comes in, Draken with the final, and that defuse easily going to be found. A decent round coming in. Uruguay able to keep 3 players alive. I'd say Ex-Fragsters, though, they'll be pretty happy with what they found. Of course, only had that op on some pistols, able to get a bomb plant and 2 kills out of it. And of course, the bomb plant being quite important, it does allow for the op to be dropped over the Dragonfly. So there we go. It's a solid buy. They actually do end up kind of coming out on top of things with that overall, with what they actually invested in that previous round. But now is when they need to start picking up some actual round wins for themselves, because it's definitely beginning to slip away from them.
Yeah, indeed, getting out of hand. That smoke left the hands of HS, and I don't think he quite knew where it was going. On top of the plant pot. But okay. Open and pick, not quite found for existence. But luckily they've already got one in the hands of Draken. The double up setup doing its work over towards the A-bomb side anyways for now.
Yeah, I like that play from Draken. Got aggressive early on and took that peek in the second mid. Managed to catch that one off guard it was. So the 5-on-4 already very early on, and in an attempt to really just get that map control, Ex-Fragsters have used a lot of their utility. They have a couple of smokes, a Molotov, and some flashes left. And it looks like with that man disadvantage, they are just going to group up and prepare for a B execute. And this is kind of the standard thing when you go down by one man. Just group up, try and take B. It's usually the easier bomb site to get into when you have that disadvantage. And let's see if that's going to be the case right here for the Danes as they begin to move forward. The smoke, the CT actually is going to block this off, but the boost coming in. Scream able to find one. Existence follows up with one of his own through the smoke. And it is going to be a 4v2 as the bomb gets planted. Existence likely to just wait for his teammates and prepare for that retake.
It's going to be a difficult one to hold on to. RTA manages to find one onto HS. Trying to swing around onto Existence as well. The op was posted up, but even still doesn't manage to win the fight. RTA coming out on top in 2 engagements, puts them way ahead on the T side. Draken's trying to get the work done, has a smoke in play. He's going to go in for the defuse, but he's spotted just before that smoke blooms. So the lineup was found and the kill to 11-10. Ex-Fragsters are looking good. Finally getting themselves up there on the board on the T side.
Yeah, the fact that they somehow managed to win that round, and with the damage they had done in those previous couple as well, with the investments that they'd put in, you can see Uruguay are actually just about able to pull out the buy. If they lose this one, they will be down onto an eco, and you'd imagine this this pause rather probably by Uruguay. Can't actually, I don't think we have the info exactly of who did call it, but I also wouldn't be too surprised if Ex-Fragsters did, just due to the fact that they know that they also can't be recessed. So really, this round is just so important for both sides. Whoever wins, they should be getting themselves some good control coming towards the end of the game.
Definitely sought after for Uruguay this round. There's no question of them fully investing into this. It presents an opportunity in the sense that if they can take Fragsters down now, look at the investment on the T side. There'll be no money left over. They'll be reset and things will be looking good. But as they get aggressive down Banana, they do find a trade with the Molotov in play, but trapped behind that Molotov now. That gives Scream an opportunity to find a couple of kills. No nades in play to find a very low HP on Torben, so he should be able to get out of there alive.
Ooh, nice kill from Stowen being found on the Hampus, actually. I was going to say Torben just about alive. I don't know if he'd really be able to do too much in the round, but with the 4v3 now, Ex-Fragsters, they can just group up, kind of slow things down for a couple of seconds and then eventually take it forward, and as long as they trade, they should be looking good. HS currently the sole defender on A, but he does have Scream on his way around to give him some assistance. So 2 players are going to be ready to try and actually hold this down somewhat. And as you can see, the smoke's now coming over. Some info is going to be found. But for now, Ex-Fragsters are really taking their time. They actually want to play this contact. Oh, and Uruguay are expecting this to have been a fake. They're taking a gamble and completely stacking B. This round pretty much over and done with. I like this, though, because it means that they will at least save over 3 weapons, most likely, and with Hampus having enough to buy, they can get another investment in the next round, rather than, of course, losing this one straight up and then being put down to an eco.
That certainly sets them up better for future rounds. They should be able to save these over pretty well. They're going down Banana a little bit. Drake in there with the AWP leads me to believe maybe he's going to play for exits towards middle a little bit later on. which is risky. I mean, at this point, I suppose there is a reward to finding kills. It looks like they're just going to set up for straight up hold towards the bottom of banana. Dragon's got that up on the B bomb side. Actually, it's the rifles there, so that's a little bit better. The rifles towards the bottom banana. It's just a crossfire. We don't need to be worried about them peeking towards the top of middle and trying to find a kill with the op. Scream goes down. I mean, he peeked out in the middle of banana there. It's the kind of situation where, like, losing a rifle there will impact this round so much more than it would have if he just found one kill and was able to get away. I'd much rather see the passive play.
Yeah, the fact that they lose that one rifle does put them in a tough position, because now I think they probably will just actually go ahead and eco around these two rifles. If they buy up, I'd be somewhat surprised, just because it's not going to be great. And of course, they can, I guess, kind of give away that one more round while still having somewhat of a chance in this one to get damage. And yeah, it seems like the eco is going to come in. Hampus, he had plenty of money, so he's at least going to get a CZ out with some Kevlar, a couple flashes. And the goal in this round is mostly damage for Uruguay. But with the op and the M4 in play, I wouldn't be too surprised if we maybe see some aggression to try and actually take that round win.
Well, yeah, I mean, realistically, on the CT side right now, you do want to see them get a little bit aggro. Maybe see Drake can take those early peaks with the AWP. It's going to prompt a lot more individuality to shine through on the CT side, and a lot of players going towards banana early on. Certainly where the aggression's going to be coming in. As the spam goes down, nothing to be found for Dragonfly just yet. Flash in, pushes Drake and back off the angle. But he still manages to get the repeak in time to take Dragonfly down. Repeaks again, a second, not quite the third. He has support. Scream is there. Should be able to pick up the op and get away. Without armor, going into that peek up against the rifle could be a little bit scary. HS falls towards the A-bomb site, but Hampus is there with a CZ. Comes down from below, not expected. Finds himself a rifle for his troubles. And indeed fends off the A-bomb site offense. Ex-Fragsters looking worse for wear right now. One player left alive. Scream's the only player towards the B-bomb side. He gave over that AWP to Existence, leaving him with just a USP. He is, however, just going to be playing for info. Spotting out Nodios as he pushes towards the bomb side, calling the info and allowing his teammates to rotate in and clean him up. At least that's the hope. But Nodios does have a bit of opportunity as he makes his way in here. That smoke's going to push them back off the bomb site. There is only the USP to take the fight. So if he goes quickly enough, he could find himself in a 1v2 and certainly a winnable situation.
Yeah, it definitely is. He hasn't been having the best game so far, but this would be a nice redemption if he's able to pull off this big clutch and gets the opportunity for the first kill. Problem is Existence on the op there for the trade. And it is going to be Uruguay coming out on top of that round with not really too much investment. Just the two rifles they saved, a couple pistols being upgraded. And they managed to go ahead and take themselves an 11th round. Ex-Fragsters will still be able to buy, but it puts them in a tough position. I think Stowen probably going to be stuck down to a pistol, most likely. Dragonfly not going to have the greatest of buys either. And of course, if they lose that one, then it's a position where we likely see Uruguay getting back into the lead. Yeah, it's not too bad. Dragonfly actually does manage to get the op. I believe it was dropped over. Stowen gonna have the AK given to him by RTA, who's willing to just go ahead and actually go on the Deagle. So it's a pretty solid buy, but as I said, they do need to make this one work. Otherwise, they're looking at that eco and likely giving up that lead.
Yeah, indeed. Look, yeah, there's a lot they can get done here. The Deagle isn't necessarily too big of a deficit for them, as Existence goes down to 14 HP early on. Great nade damage being followed through. Scream tries to return some, puts Torben down to 39. He was already lit up a little bit by the nades earlier on, but it's again, just this kind of scrappy start to the rounds. Nothing too much connected until Gold Smedden comes in. The Gold Dragonfly finds himself one onto Drake, and Hampus peeking around to try and get the trade. They expect it, though. Torben has been lit up by 3 different people, down to 15 HP. Oh, very lucky to make it out of there alive. The repeat to go through, not necessarily the best idea when Dragonfly's already lined up. Uruguay forced to give up long control now. They're going to have Existence rotating in to hold it down a little bit, make sure the site isn't going to be flanked. With the aggression about to come through short and apartments from Ex-Fragsters. We've got lots of utility coming into this as well. Only one smoke, but so many flashbangs. They can certainly make ground towards this bomb site. The real problem, I think, is going to be HS towards the pit.
Yeah, and Existence actually rotating over the library as well with that op, so he could definitely give some help to them. HS only able to find one, so not as big of a problem, rather, as you predicted. And Existence falls without being able to find anything at all. That looks to be another round for Ex-Fragsters and a reset onto the economy of Uruguay, which leaves Scream with very little option other than to go ahead and save that AUG, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if they buy in this next round. Get $1,400. It will give Hampus enough to buy. Draken will be able to get a buy as well. Existence, if he wanted, could get the rifle, but he'd have to go for body armor and no utility. So this has put Uruguay into a pretty terrible position right now. And of course, they also do rely on Scream being able to save. Finds one kill, and it looks like Ex-Fragsters do want to hunt them down. They themselves not having too much money. I don't know if they're really willing to lose too many more weapons.
Well, Scream this time not going aggressive like we've seen in some of the save situations before. He's the only rifle. He said, well, we got to see it saved over. Ex-Fragsters managing to keep that lead firmly in their grasp. Now on 13 rounds, the potential for 14 is certainly mounting. I don't think Uruguay will be investing too much into this. That said, though, actually, HS is the only player that can't buy something. We could see Scream with utility and a kid. Existence could get out of FAMAS, Draken and Hampus on M4s. We'll definitely be missing an AWP if the full buy comes in from Uruguay right now.
Say Uruguay again, Mitch, please.
Uruguay. Yeah, I know. I said it wrong.
I realized you said it a couple of times. I didn't call you out before, though.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying it like that.
Uruguay. It's a weird name.
Uruguay. There we go.
No, it's not Uruguay. That's what you've been saying. It's Uruguay. Now I'm confused
Uruguay.
whether you think that's the right one or
God
not.
damn it. God damn I don't know what's going on.
I was just messing with you, Mitch.
I don't know what's going on.
You trolled, bro. It's only a prank.
This is a prank. Where's the camera? That's right in front of me.
You have a webcam in front of you, yeah.
Yeah. He got me. Got him. This the buy comes in from Uruguay. They've got the AUGs, they've got the M4, the FAMAS. They just had a habit, I say, in those pre-buy scenarios, like they can get M4s out. No, they're going to get AUGs out. Everybody uses the AUG now. Oh, except Hampus. He's trendy.
The M4 can still be very useful. I'd say Inferno is probably one of the maps where it's still very good on the CT side. The longer range angle, the maps at the longer range angles, rather, is where the AUGs do come in even more so. But I'd say when you put the AUG and the M4 up close, the AUG is probably even slightly better as well, because at really close range, at least, it does have that capability for one shot to the head. You have to basically be touching your opponent, though.
Well, Inferno is certainly a close range map, but you definitely want to avoid brushing shoulders with them. So enough for that headshot to come into play. The scope, generally, I think why the majority of players like to use it. Gives you that a little bit of extra range. Or extra vision on range as well. Ooh, Stown gets chased, avoids dying, and almost grabs a kill for it as well. Here's the push from Existence, though. A quick double. Luckily, Torben was there to find the trade, but it looks like Draken might be thinking of going straight through that smoke as well. Indeed he is, and down goes Torben. The bomb dropped. 13 seconds. The time is definitely not on their side. Draken's forced back by the Molotov, but the push can come around through the coffins. No chance of stopping that bomb, and now into a 2v2. It was a risky play! Draken comes in. I thought that was Hampus through the smoke, but he's in a 1v1 now. Has to take RTA. Knows that he's up close. And sadly for RTA, the weapon he picked up had to be reloaded.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate right there from... Had the idea as well about where that final player was going to be, of course, after Hampus spammed through the smoke, so... Not the greatest of rounds there from Ex-Fragsters, but they do at least bring it down to that 1v1 in the end, meaning Uruguay don't really build up any money. But again, Ex-Fragsters, with the rounds continuously going back and forth and neither side really having the chance to build up the economy for themselves, if they want to buy it, it's going to be another little bit of a mismatch. They'll have 3 players getting the full investments, Down and Nodios on the other hand, likely to be put down to pistols or maybe SMGs. And you can see, of course, they want to try and actually discuss what they're going to do into this round as a pause has been called.
And you can't really fault them too much for it. They again have the potential over on the Ex-Fragster side to take out a buy that we saw Uruguay taking. We'll have a couple pistols in play, majority rifles. But they're in a bit of a better position, right? They've got 13 rounds. They've got the lead. Do they want to give one more round over, get a really solid buy? They'll be missing an AWP here as well. But again, oh, no, they're not actually. We're going to see a glass cannon coming out. I didn't really expect to see that because so often, I mean, the T side of Inferno is one of those sides that we don't see the op being prioritized too much a lot of the time. And having to sacrifice armor for it, we're going to need to see a lot of impact for that decision.
Yeah, I think I kind of would have actually preferred if they went for the eco and allowed for Uruguay to take the 13th round, just had the best play possible in the next one. But if they can make this work, of course, that puts them in a spectacular position where they're likely looking at map point unless they end up falling yet again to another force buy from Uruguay, which at this point we can never count out. This has been so back and forth since the second half begun. And early on into this one, Ex-Fragsters, they are actually able to get that banana control initially, going to be backing off now, and I believe probably looking to try and do the same in towards middle, get that control, and give themselves a lot of options for where they can actually take this late round.
They've got to be careful on that clock as well. You know, we saw the time really play into the previous round. Uruguay certainly had their fair share of rounds that were taken away from them because of the time. Apartments control, sought after by Ex-Fragsters, eventually backing out. They're going to go straight through middle. Smokes to be deployed over. Going all across the A-bomb site. With long now smoked, they can take that control. They are going to look to split the A-bomb site. You can see RTA coming in through short. There's 3 players here, though, causing a lot of havoc. Draken on the AWP from the bomb site finds himself only one. It's Hampus coming in with a double. He also had the assist on the first kill and looking for more. Finds himself Nodios. Huge impact in that round from the Apartments player, and 13-13. We tie things up. Ex-Fragsters don't get the impacts from that buy that they had hoped for. Now have to take the eco, and that means Uruguay should claim the lead.
Yeah, and that's where the force buy kind of backfires on Ex-Fragsters now. As you said, having to take the eco into this one, not really able to buy up even any pistols, as you can see, sticking on the 5 Glocks, just having that one flash invested into. And it looks like they're going to try and take it up towards B, but problem is running into a stack of 3 players who are ready to hold it down. Existence, we've seen him pick up the 4K on the hold up against the eco before. Not quite as many frags from this time. He will go ahead and actually shoot him a scream. And eventually Draken going ahead and taking himself a piece of the pie as well. Takes down Dragonfly from behind. All 5 players remain alive for Uruguay. And most importantly, they actually take that lead, 14-30. Ex-Fragsters coming onto this buy is one they need to make work. If they lose this, they're put into an even weaker investment in the following round to try and actually keep themselves alive.
Indeed, we wanted to see the eco on their previous buy, but they find themselves again, after losing that one out, a pretty weak buy to come through. Scream manages to find 2 of them as they push through the smoke. Draken with a wall bang to RTA. He has to back off now after being lit up by Stown, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. With a 3-man advantage at play, this has to be a massive step up for Ex-Fragsters. Nodios finds 1, but he's all alone. The ace to be found if he wants to win this. A second, not quite the 3rd on the bomb side, and the bomb was all the way down in T-spawn, so he would have had to rotate back down through Banana anyways. 15-13. Match point for Uruguay now. Ex-Fragsters looking worse for wear for sure, considering such a strong start. They've only got 3 rounds on the T side so far.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to be worrying at this point. As I said, not even being able to find the bomb planter in that previous round means they are quite limited in the investment they get into this one. It's a couple of AKs should come out. I believe Nodios will drop one over. I'll buy one up for himself, but I don't know. I'm not too sure. Gets one actually dropped from someone else somehow. Must have been just on the ground. So they still have 2 AKs to work with. At least it's not too bad. 3 Deagles, but it's of course not really ideal. And this is looking like Uruguay. They have managed to just kind of shut this down on the CT side. As you said, only 3 rounds so far for Ex-Fragsters since they went onto the offense. And that was after looking so strong back on the CT side.
Yeah, indeed. This is, I mean, we saw Uruguay making a lot of mistakes over on the T side. Now, coming into things with aggression again from Draken. He's been doing this so often on the A-bomb site, whether it's going in through apartments or just straight up pushing down middle. Manages to find himself a quick opening, but the AWP still posted on short. Map control is in the hands of Uruguay for the most part. They have given up Banana. they still have 2 players over towards the B bomb site. They've got plenty of utility to work with there to slow a push down if it does come in, or split up the players at least. And so, it looks like they're going to be tested on that, actually. As Ex-Fragsters make their way up there. Coming into this with 2 Deagles and 2 AKs. They're only up against 2 players on the B-bomb side. With 2 sets of utility, though, to halt this push.
Ooh, and a very nicely timed flash. It does slow them for about half of a second, but by the time they begin to push forward, of course, Scream was ready for 1 at least. Will be traded eventually in existence. He's going to be blocked off into that CT spawn by the smoke, able to at least connect some damage as they cross over onto Nodios. But the bomb will be planted, and Ex-Fragsters now in the 3v4 after plant. This is definitely winnable for them. Actually, another rifle as well being retrieved for Dragonfly. A flash towards CT. Nodios looking tempted to maybe push through, but he needs to be cautious of Banana. Dragonfly was trying to actually spot it for him, but he ends up going down pretty easily to HS, and now they're pretty much trapped. Players coming in on all sides, and it looks like this is going to be the end of it. RTA only able to find 1 before he gets taken down, and there it is, 16-13 for Uruguay. They come back from what was looking to be a pretty dire performance, down 5-10 at the half-time, and end up actually taking the victory here on Inferno.
Yeah, indeed. That was very nicely played overall. I think that as we came into this, I was expecting a lot more from Ex-Fragsters, considering especially the 10-5 start. But Uruguay made a lot of mistakes when they were over starting things out on their T side. They played a lot of rounds really slowly, and I think Ex-Fragsters had the best possible first half, or definitely a really solid first half, considering how many opportunities Uruguay had. And to see them then only claim the 3 rounds on the T side is a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It was definitely not what we were expecting from them. Inferno is usually a pretty decent map for them overall, or at least with their old lineups it was. Of course, they've had a couple of changes. And yeah, I'm a little bit shocked by that performance. The good one coming in from Uruguay. They had a great CT side. There's lots of coordination, good proactivity in order to get the opening frags, etc. And I'm excited to see what we'll see from them in the future. But of course, Mitch, we don't have to wait too long to see more from Ex-Fragsters, because we will have them taking on LDLC coming up next. And that will be on Nuke. So a very spicy matchup for those 2 teams.
Yeah, indeed. That's going to be coming up in a couple of minutes, I believe. Before we go into that, though, we're going to have a quick break. So we'll catch you back on this channel in a couple of minutes for LDLC and Ex-Fragsters.